My name is Paulina and I live in Los Angeles, California, and I am an environmental health and safety engineer working in aerospace.
What was your first experience with STEM?
So, STEM being science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, let's go way back when I was a little girl. I hated math. Math was difficult. Math made me cry all the time. But lucky for me, my dad always helped me. My dad would come home late nights from work and sit down with me and work out all my math problems with me and show me how to do it. And he didn't let me use a calculator because he wanted me to learn and understand how I got the answer. And to make math fun, he would go ahead and add M&Ms or gummy bears or other things to make it easier for me to understand, and he really took his time. As I got older, though, I fell in love with math and science and technology because I always feared it. I always had this fear in the back of my head that this is too hard, I can't do it. And something inside me said, do it. And I fell in love with it.
What was your favorite subject at school?
It was chemistry. I love chemistry. Chemistry was really hard and challenging in school, but once I got the hang of it, I fell in love with it. And I love skincare. I love food. I love makeup. And once I understood chemistry, I got to know all the big words. What did they mean? What is this ingredient? And I still do that to this day. And I even do that at work. When we get chemicals at work, it's my job to review them, go through them, and make sure that they're safe and acceptable for the workforce.
What did you study at university?
I studied environmental and occupational health and a focus in industrial hygiene.
Why did you choose to study what you did at university?
The reason why I picked environmental and occupational health was because it was a combination of medicine and engineering, and I loved both worlds. I always said I wanted to be a dermatologist and become a doctor, and at the same time, I also wanted to be a civil engineer. But this was a great opportunity where I could combine both. And I love helping people and I love talking to people. It's almost like that communication science, as they say. I got to learn all these large terminology, I got to learn all these complex problems, and then teach it to everybody to keep them safe at work. At the end of the day, I strongly feel in my heart nobody should ever get hurt at work, and everybody deserves to go home safe to their loved ones. So it's engineers like myself who will look at all the different type of environments from health exposure, safety exposures, environmental exposures, and make it a safer environment from administration controls, management controls, engineering controls. And it's my job to make those improvements for facilities, for a company, and for the health and the well-being of you.
What does a typical day at work look like for you?
Well, it varies. I wear a lot of different hats as an environmental health and safety engineer. So we'll start off with environmental. If it's a day that it's raining, I have to be outside with my raincoat and take samples of the water that's collecting into the drains. Because we have a lot of pollutant on the floor, we want to make sure that doesn't collect into the drains and then affects our oceans. So that's one example for an environmental. But don't forget, we have the air, we have the roads, we have our environment all around us that can affect us. From an occupational health standpoint, if I have an employee that says, hey, Paulina, I wore the right PPE, personal protective equipment, the right gloves working on a machine, but he or she still cut themselves, I need to figure out how and why did you cut yourself? Do you have the right PPE? What kind of cut did you get? Was your cut exposed to any metal, dust, chemicals? You need to get treated by first aid right away. And from a safety side, safety is a large world, but let's talk about fall protection. If I have employees who are going to be working on a roof, they need to make sure that they have all the right PPE, all the right safety guarding, all the right training. So it varies every day. And that's the great thing about EH&S. Every day is a new day. Every day there's something new. And I get to be outside or I get to be in the office. Whatever I want to do, I get to do it.
What is your favorite thing about what you do for work?
Well, for me, I get to work in the most dangerous, scary situations, and my job is to pretty much look at it and make it safe. Because at the end of the day, we all want to go home safe to our loved ones. So I have to find engineering controls or all different type of ideas to make it a safer environment.